Imagine navigating life with the clarity and confidence to say no when you mean it, without guilt or regret. The Art of Saying No by Damon Zahariades is more than just a guide, it's a manifesto for reclaiming your time, energy, and self-worth. In a world where people-pleasing is often mistaken for kindness, this book dismantles the myths that keep us trapped in a cycle of overcommitment and resentment. Zahariades argues that saying no is not about being selfish or rude but about setting healthy boundaries that protect your well-being and allow you to focus on what truly matters. The book opens by addressing the deep-rooted fears and anxieties associated with declining requests. Many people struggle with saying no because they fear rejection, disappointing others, or being perceived as unkind. Zahariades explains that these fears stem from societal conditioning, where we are taught that being agreeable makes us more likable and valuable. However, the reality is that constantly saying yes to others often means saying no to ourselves. Overcommitting leads to stress, burnout, and a loss of personal freedom, making it essential to develop the skill of refusing requests gracefully. One of the book's key arguments is that learning to say no is a matter of self-respect. When we always accommodate others at the expense of our own needs, we send a message that our time and priorities are less important. Zahariades introduces the concept of assertive refusal, which involves declining requests in a firm yet respectful manner. This approach allows individuals to maintain their integrity while still being considerate of others' feelings. By practicing assertive communication, we can preserve relationships without compromising our own well-being. Zahariades explores the different types of requests people encounter daily, from social invitations and professional obligations to personal favors and emotional labor. He provides practical strategies for handling each scenario, emphasizing the importance of clarity and confidence. Instead of offering vague excuses, he suggests straightforward responses that leave no room for negotiation. For example, instead of saying, "I'll think about it," which invites further persuasion, he recommends a direct response like, "I appreciate the offer, but I won't be able to commit to that." The book also discusses the various tactics that people use to manipulate others into saying yes. Guilt-tripping, passive-aggressive behavior, and emotional blackmail are common strategies employed by those who struggle with rejection. Zahariades teaches readers how to recognize these tactics and counter them without feeling obligated to comply. He emphasizes that it's not our responsibility to manage others' disappointment and that true friends and colleagues will respect a well-communicated boundary. A significant portion of the book is dedicated to overcoming the internal guilt associated with saying no. Many individuals feel a sense of duty to help others, even at their own expense. Zahariades challenges this mindset by explaining that setting boundaries is not only healthy but also necessary for long-term relationships. When we agree to things out of obligation rather than genuine willingness, we build resentment, which can damage relationships more than a polite refusal ever could. Another critical lesson from the book is that no is a complete sentence. Many people feel the need to justify or over-explain their refusals, but Zahariades warns against this. Offering too much information can invite arguments and attempts to change your mind. Instead, he advises keeping responses short and firm, reinforcing that your decision is final. A simple, "I can't commit to that right now," is often more effective than a lengthy explanation that leaves room for debate. Zahariades also explores cultural and gender dynamics in saying no. Women, in particular, are often socialized to be accommodating and nurturing, making it even harder for them to assert boundaries without guilt. The book encourages readers to unlearn these ingrained expectations and reclaim their right to prioritize themselves. By practicing small refusals in everyday situations, individuals can build the confidence to assert themselves in more significant areas of their lives. Throughout the book, Zahariades shares personal anecdotes and real-world examples of how saying no has transformed people's lives. He highlights stories of individuals who regained control over their schedules, improved their mental health, and even strengthened their relationships by being honest about their limitations. These examples serve as powerful reminders that saying no is not about shutting people out, it's about making room for the things that truly matter. One particularly compelling argument in the book is that saying no actually increases the value of your yes. When people know that you don't agree to everything by default, they appreciate it more when you do say yes. This selective approach ensures that your commitments are meaningful and aligned with your values rather than obligations born out of guilt or pressure. The book also provides practical exercises to help readers become more comfortable with refusal. Zahariades suggests practicing with low-stakes scenarios, such as turning down an invitation to a casual event or declining an unnecessary work request. Over time, these small refusals build the confidence needed to set boundaries in more challenging situations. For those worried about damaging relationships, Zahariades reassures that true connections are built on honesty and respect, not blind compliance. While some people may react negatively to a newfound assertiveness, the book argues that this is often a sign of unhealthy dynamics rather than a reflection of the individual setting boundaries. In many cases, relationships improve when clear communication replaces passive-aggressive resentment. The book concludes by reinforcing the idea that saying no is an essential skill for leading a balanced and fulfilling life. It is not about rejecting people but about honoring your own needs and priorities. By mastering the art of saying no, you gain control over your time, reduce stress, and cultivate healthier relationships based on mutual respect. Ultimately, The Art of Saying No is an empowering read for anyone who struggles with boundaries. It provides practical strategies for declining requests, handling manipulation, and overcoming guilt, all while maintaining kindness and professionalism. Zahariades makes a compelling case that saying no is not just a necessary skill but a revolutionary act of self-care. If you're tired of overcommitting and ready to prioritize what truly matters, this book is your roadmap to freedom.